Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Jeremy Carr is a Claremont Institute Fellow and Trump administration nominee for Assistant Secretary of State. He has faced significant scrutiny for his views that critics and lawmakers characterize as racist, white supremacist, and bigoted. Check out this clown during his Senate confirmation hearing.
You define white identity and what you think is being erased about white identity?
Certain types of Anglo-derived culture that comes from our history.
Like what?
Let me think about this. Senator, I would say if you were to look at the book by one of your former Senate colleagues, Born Fighting, about the sort of Scotch-Irish military culture and certain, pride that went with that, that would be one example. Obviously, you could have sub-elements of that culture. You could have Italians, you could have Irish, and those are in many ways more distinct.
You're worried about white culture. You're not worried about, you're now retreating to ethnic identity. You don't speak about ethnic identity. You speak about white identity. So tell me the values that stitch together white identity and that make it different than black identity.
I would say that the white church is very different than the black church in terms of its tone and style on average. Foodways could often be different.
And those
music could be different.
And those are being erased.
Music could be different. Well, if you look at the Super Bowl halftime show, which was not in English this year.
So our ability to access white churches or white food or white music is being erased?
I am concerned with the majority common American culture that we had for some time that through particularly mass immigration, I think has become much more balkanized, and I think that weakens us. And again, I'm not running away from that comment. I'm not apologizing for it.
Well, I'm way over my time. I think you're struggling to answer this question, right? Because underlying your beliefs is a sentiment that white culture is just simply better.
Chris Murphy was on his head the entire time. I ain't got no problem with that. What an uncivilized mutt. What an uncivilized, ungrateful mutt. For all that Black people and immigrants have done to make this country great, he wants everybody to just shut up and get out of the way now and just let white folks have it, and everybody else just kind of acquiesce to whatever their demands are. Meanwhile, rock and roll is Black music, and so is hip hop. Yeah, that's for you, Gene Simmons, with your raggedy, stanky. Yeah, man, you got the nerve to say that hip hop don't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and he's not from the ghetto. You ain't got to be from the ghetto to be ghetto, chump. But from what I understand, you are from the ghetto because you're from Queens. Yeah, sucker. Get at you another time. Anyway, fam, how about this? How about we deal with these kind of clowns by not allowing them to ever even get close to an opportunity for a Senate confirmation hearing. But the only way you can get that close is for somebody to vouch for you. Somebody got to nominate you. So who nominated him? Yeah, Donald Trump, your president. Yeah. And the only way that somebody nominate a person like that is if they share that person's views. See, what he's saying, what he's really saying is, I'm upset and I'm afraid of losing the structural power and becoming a minority. And if that happens, I'm afraid that you people who have been on the bottom for so long are going to treat me the way that I've treated you should you come into power. You don't have to trump my power, just even if you were just on an equal level of me. That's not good, because then I can't get stuff easily. I'd have to compete. And I don't want to compete beyond my race. That makes the odds too difficult for me. I can't compete like that. I need to have it easy. I need to just only think about being able to beat my white friend, the white guy. I can't be thinking about all these other people, because now I'm going to have to be better than I really am. See, that's what it's about, fam. If you really want to know the truth, that's really what it's about. It's about that fear of having to compete, the fear of not being able to disrespect people, beat up people, discriminate against them, brutalize, use your racial slurs at will. See, that's really what all of this is about. Because you can't possibly see all of the wrong and the illegal things, the immoral things that white people have done throughout history. Not saying that nobody else, other races haven't done immoral things, but these people like him, they act like white people are just a shining damn example of humanity. They act like white people are just perfect, like they don't see all this murder and mayhem. They're like white people ain't out here starting these wars, killing these people. Like white people are not responsible for the majority of the mass shootings in America and the serial killers in America and the cop killers in America. Yeah, they act like that ain't the case. So what they do is project. If they can see 100 white guys, examples of 100 white guys who have essayed people, and they can have multiple cases, every last one of them, and they won't say anything. They won't say anything about that, not at least not publicly. The moment they see one black person get accused of something like that, now they're trying to destroy us. We got to lock them up, and we got to be hard on crime, and look at them. This is what they are. So what they do is they elevate the best in their society, and they use the best in their society as an example of who they are collectively. And they use the worst in our society as who we are collectively. That's the game. And it works like clockwork, and they stay with it. They stay constant. They don't care if they're lying. They don't even care if you know they're lying. They just have to tell the lie, to put the lie out there to justify their actions. You notice how comfortable Trump is with lying? Just lie, 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 lie. Here are some key views and statements attributed to Carl, just for those out there who says that, well, I think you overreacted, man. The man ain't racist. I don't think he's racist. Well, check this out. Jeremy Carl argues that anti-white discrimination is the most prominent form of racism in America today. He has described the Civil Rights Act of 1964 as an anti-white weapon and claimed the U.S. is systematically racist against white people. He has repeatedly promoted the Great Replacement theory, which falsely claims white populations are being intentionally replaced by non-white immigrants. During testimony, he characterized this as the international demographic replacement of Europeans. Jeremy referred to the Juneteenth holiday as race hustling and white shaming, and stated that white people celebrating it have already surrendered. He labeled Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson as an unqualified nominee who was selected solely based on her race and gender. He claimed that individuals charged in the January 6th Capitol riot were treated worse than Black Americans during Jim Crow era. Lawmakers, including Senator John Curtis, has criticized him for his anti-Israel views and insensitive remarks about the Jewish people. CNN's K-File investigation in late 2025 revealed that Jeremy Carr, this uncivilized mutt, attempted to delete over 5,000 social media posts containing these and other inflammatory remarks prior to his nomination process. So there you have it, fam. This is who he really is. So he tried to delete the post because he knew that they would come back to bite him. And it looks like he just might get blocked from that nomination. Typically, it's hard to block, but this one might get blocked because there is bipartisan resistance. Jeremy, you sleazeball, uncivilized mutt. Black people ain't the problem. The people who look like you run the country. You should start there. No more talk.